And I want to discuss with you 8 reasons why some people are not successful. Obviously, somebody may ask, who are you to judge? Who are you to tell me what is success and what is not? Perhaps we can come up with a universal description or definition of success. Success is the achievement of goals. So every human being has a set of goals, or they should have a set of goals. Something that they believe, something that they want to achieve, something that they aspire to achieve. Now, within all our backgrounds, we have different aspirations, different ambitions, and different levels of success. So I will not be unfair by subjecting you to my own success. So this presentation is an assessment of whatever your level of success is. And what I'm about to discuss would therefore be the reasons as to why you are not achieving your own personal goals. Number one is that sometimes we don't succeed because we have very poor attitudes. What is a poor attitude? A poor attitude is something that justifies where you are and also justifies why you should not go where you're supposed to go. So, you know what you're supposed to do, but your attitude says it is okay to be right where I am, when in actual fact, it's probably not supposed to be that. A good attitude, therefore, is some sort of flexibility, adaptation, and ability to understand that life is about growing and maturing. Imagine if we had refused to stop wearing diapers, where would we have been by now? Imagine if we had refused to leave first grade, where would we have been right now? We would have still been in the same places where we were. But because we wanted to be successful, we migrated from kindergarten, preschool, first grade, and so on and so forth. And here we are today. The second reason why some people fail to be successful is inability to learn new skills. If you look at all our journeys academically and through education, every aspect of our lives was preparing us for the very next thing. It gave us new skills. From crawling, we began to walk, we began to run, and we began to ride bicycles, we began to drive vehicles, fly planes. Some of us may not even achieve any of those things because we have refused to learn new skills. If you are happy with walking and you say to yourself, riding a bicycle is not for me, it will then put you and limit you in the exact same place. There are new skills available for every human being for new types of challenges and new types of problems. When you learn new skills, you accept the challenges of today and you accept the solving problem mechanism of tomorrow. The third reason why some of us are not successful in life is we are too rigid. We're too rigid. I spent some time in the village some time back and I saw how they make reeds. And they make reeds when they are fresh, when the reeds are fresh. When a reed is fresh, it's easy to bend, it's easy to customize, it's easy to flex. The moment the reed becomes dry and you have to adjust it, you have to soak it. And that's why sometimes if you watch your life, you will discover that every time you go through problems, you are more likely to flex. You are more likely to adjust because problems and pressure force you to bend. Rigidity is not good. I'll give you an example. A client of mine advertised a job today and they said, my salary that I'm offering is 2,000 kwacha a month. And there were some wonderful people there who were ready to learn new skills, who were ready to flex. And they were looking forward to that job, and I'm sure they've applied. But there were several others who said, I cannot work for 2,000 kwacha a month. I would rather stay at home. Now, no matter which culture you come from, zero is a zero. If you are staying at home, you're not earning any money, and you've accepted that, then you are rigid. You don't want to be flexible, you don't want to learn new skills, and you have a bad attitude. Get rid of that attitude. Go and work for that 2,000. Spend 6 months there. You earn 12,000. At least you buy a new phone. Unlike now, when you don't even have a phone, you don't have a job, you don't have certain prerequisites that are supposed to make your life and to push you to a certain level. The fourth reason why many of us we are not successful is related to number 3. We put money above all else. Now, scripture says the love of money is the root of all evil, yes. But I think the love of money, only money, is the limit in many people's lives. Several years ago, I was invited in the United States to speak at a certain government agency place. And they say to me, Mubita, you're coming to speak. And I was so excited, having come from Africa. I was getting a chance to go speak in the United States of America. And I was excited to have the opportunity to make a lot of money. And then someone told me in a rude way that there was no money and that motivational speakers loved money too much. And there was no way they were going to pay me any kind of money because it was a government thing. I almost quit and gave up. I don't like being used. I felt they were going to use me. And then something told me, Rita, just go. There is no pay, but just go. You see, sometimes in life, our victory is in showing up. Ladies and gentlemen, I showed up at that conference. I was actually the last speaker on a Friday. I spoke for zero money. But what I did is, not only did I go and speak, I carried some books, some t-shirts, some cups, some different marketing items that were on sale. And that day alone, I sold $4,600 worth of product from a free event. Not only that, I met a man called Pastor L. Payton, who flew me into El Paso, Texas the following weekend, flew me in. And after I did what I did for him in his community, he paid me $1,800 US from that trip. He was to fly me back into El Paso 2 more times. Apart from L. Payton, I met 14 other people. So from that free speaking engagement, I got total 15 speaking engagement for a free thing. Don't put money first, young people. Put experience, put relationships, put networking in front and not money. The fifth reason why some people are not successful is that they don't have a plan, period. Most people who don't have a plan don't even know whether they're succeeding or failing. One of the reasons we have fuel gauges on our vehicles is to tell us where our fuel levels are, so that that fuel level can tell us how far we can go. The same with speedometer. It tells us how fast we are going to show us how much mileage or kilometers we are covering in a particular sequence of time. When you don't have a plan, you'll be like a vehicle without a speedometer, a vehicle without a fuel gauge. Those are the people you find on the streets running around with a container, going to buy fuel, leaving his vehicle by the roadside, going to buy fuel because he has no fuel gauge. He has no speedometer. He has no plan for his life. There is an animal here in Africa called chimbwi. Chimbwi is basically a wild dog, or actually not a wild dog, a hyena. And there is a saying, or an African saying, which says, when you have no plan, you are called a chimbwi no plan. Chimbwi no plan is a person who's clueless of where they're supposed to be, what they're supposed to be doing at any time. When your life is without plans, it means your life will be without results. And therefore, you may not even know whether you're successful or not, because in the first place, you had no goal, no plan, and no agenda. The sixth reason why many people are not successful is they don't have a relationship between age and time. What do I mean? At age 6, psychologists say that the personality of every human being is already formed at age 6. At age 10, most of us would have already been to 3rd grade, 4th grade, maybe even 6th grade. Some kids these days, even by age 10, they're into 7th grade. In other words, age, time have a correlationship. I read a nice quote yesterday. I don't know if it was a quote or a skit, but somebody said, "My mother told me not to marry," he said. And the friend says, "Why did your mother tell you not to marry?" He said, "Because if I got married, my mother said to that person that the mother would ask him to leave her home, to chase her from her home. So in order for him to stay a dependent in his mother's house, he has refused to get married. That sounds funny, hilarious to some, but to be honest, that sounds like a statement from somebody who doesn't understand time and age. There are just certain things you must achieve at certain age. By the age 4.5, 5.5, you ought to know how to use the toilet on your own. It's just a rule of life. It's not in the UN Charter of Freedom. It's just a rule of life. By age 10, you ought to be feeding yourself. I tell my daughters, by the age 10, she needs to know how to cook for herself. So too do I tell my sons. Why? So that they can learn survival skills in life. So I'm saying this to suggest that there are some people who are 30 years old chronologically, but psychologically they are 15 years old. There are some who are 50 years old chronologically, but mentally and attitude-wise, they are still 12 years old. They are young children who do not know what they should be doing and when they should be doing that. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. Sorry about that. So, I come to you again to propose, I beg your pardon, the phone slid and fell. I come to you again to suggest to you that you ought to know where you are in the chronology of life versus the psychology and the mental physique of life. This does not mean you need to start competing and comparing yourself to other people and wishing what. It just means you need to know where you have to be. What is it that you need to be doing at this stage in your life? Where are you supposed to be at this stage in your life? I met a person earlier in the week and I said to them, you have an old soul. People who have an old soul, usually their age is here, but their mind is somewhere there. And I would rather be that than the other way around. The seventh reason why some people fail to succeed in life is that they don't celebrate the small levels of success. One of my financial goals is just to make 100 kwacha per day. That's all. If I can make 100 kwacha per day, in a week I have 700 kwacha. In a month I have 3,000 kwacha. In 10 months I have 30,000 kwacha, and in 12 months I have 36,000 kwacha. If I can make 100 kwacha per day, I'm a successful man, and I'm thankful to God for every 100 kwacha that I can make a day. If I make 200 kwacha per day, I've just doubled my goals. So in achieving the next 100 kwacha, I must be thankful for the first 10 in ways which make a kwacha. A first 1,000 in ways which make a kwacha. The next 100 kwachas, the next 1,000 kwachas, whatever it is, be grateful for every step in your life, because therein lies great victory for the future that awaits you. The final reason why I feel a lot of people are not successful is that they are everywhere doing everything. Success is about stealth leadership management. Success is about an understanding of what it is that you bring to the table, what we call in marketing strategic thinking. Success is about understanding, what am I bringing to the dinner table? Someone will bring napkins, some will bring a fork, some a plate, some spaghetti, some will bring rice, pudding, pap. What are you bringing to the dinner table? A lady called me today and said, Mr. Now I would like to use your transport company. We want to send some goods to Kasumbalesa. And I said to them, what are you transporting? They said, I'm transporting groceries. And I said to her, sorry, we do not transport groceries. We only transport household goods. So I run a transport company that only transports household goods. On another day, I'll tell you why I only transport household goods. But that's what I bring to the table. What are you bringing to the table? Know your niche. Know what you are good at. There is no way on earth, in heaven or in hell, that you can be a gynecologist, a dentist, a psychologist, chiropractor, pediatrician, mental health counselor, marriage counselor, divorce expert, you are a mortuary attendant, and you run a morgue. There's just no way you can do that. Yes, there could be a way you could do that, but you are denying yourself one of the great principles of success, which is know your niche, know your cutting edge, know what it is that makes you successful, and be all that you can be. I'm your friend and brother Mubita Nawa, and I'm asking you to be strong, to be blessed, to stay sharp, and to monitor your success like a car monitors its fuel gauge, to understand your goals like a sniper sets their target, to know your tools like a teacher knows a chalk, her dustboard, and her ruler, to understand your philosophy and ideology like a boxer must assess his opponent. You are a special person and a unique human being, carved and shaped by God in his infinite wisdom. Be the best version of yourself and be successful. Amaze yourself, and perhaps in the underlying undertones of today's thematic experiences on our page, find your uniqueness and exercise the greatest exegesis of all demonic influences of your life and manifest the good things that you have yourself. Kakoma has a question. Are you successful yourself? You are far away to be Aliko Dangote. To my change you are making, you are becoming big-headed. That is Andrew saying that I'm far away from being Dangote. I don't know how Dangote comes into the picture. I don't know. I've never met Mr. Dangote, and I'm not related to Mr. Dangote, and I'm running my own race. Remember, maybe Andrew, you joined us late. We said success is the achievement of your own goals. Mike says it's not about comparison. We said success is the achievement of your own personal goals. Andrew says, I'm far from Aliko Dangote. Aliko Dangote is the richest man in Africa. But how far is Aliko Dangote from Warren Buffett or from Elon Musk? Because Aliko Dangote, in the eyes of Elon Musk, might still be a poor person. If Aliko is poor compared to certain people, certain families in Saudi Arabia or in Dubai, where do you belong, Andrew? So it's not about comparison. For someone else, success is riding a motorbike. Another person's success is walking in a nice pair of shoes. Someone else's success is sleeping in a hotel. For someone else, success is sleeping in their own house. Another person can be sleeping out on the streets, but in a nice duvet of their own. That is success. When you start the business, roughly, you can suggest how much did you start with. I submit. Business can start with any amount. It depends on what you want. It depends on what you want, and it depends on what you want. It's about what you want and what it is you're targeting. There's a good question here, Mazua. Sir, you're talking about learning new skills and specializing at the same time. Are you not contradicting yourself? Very good. So when we talk about learning new skills, we're not saying learn all skills. We are saying learn new skills within your area. So for example, if I'm a driver, a taxi driver, and the new skill now requires that I should have an application called Yango or Ulendo or Uber to enhance my customer base, then I must learn that new skill and not shun the technology that is coming with the area that I am in. Dr. Lewis says, Andrew, you can't say that, Naimwe. Do you understand what success means? Don't show your ignorance publicly. Grow the heck up and start acting your age. We don't need to insult Andrew. And sometimes I feel that some of the people who feel a certain way about me don't even know me. So I forgive them. And it doesn't bother me. I understand people like that. They are everywhere around us. Okay. Let's see. Thank you, Mr. Nawa. Jonathan says, Kalamo Daniel says, I'm asking for your line. There's no problem. I'll share my line. 0978 117920. 0978-117920. I'm also asking you to share this broadcast with your friends. I will appreciate that. Tag them. Let them be a part of this conversation, and I hope you liked it. May the good Lord bless you, encourage you, keep you safe, and remind you of the goodness and greatness that awaits you. This is your friend and brother Muvita Nawa. Thank you for joining us. We'll talk to you soon. 8 reasons why some people are not successful. Be successful. Thank you.